As you guys know, when it comes to ICC, we have to understand the direction of the trend. We wait for a correction, right? And then we wait for our and then we trade the continuation. All right. So, how do we know what the direction of the trend is doing or where it's going? By marking out our highs and our lows. So, we see that price is going lower because why? We are getting lower highs. All right. Super easy. Oh shit. What's your TikTok? My TikTok is breezytrades13. He streams Fortnite on the weekends. Now I should start doing that, right? I fuck with Fortnite heavy. Bro, if I'm not on the charts, I'm on Fortnite. I fuck with Fortnite heavy. Alright, but look. 4-hour time frame. I just want to show you guys how to get in the trend and how to be certain about the trend. Because if I started season 2 and then quit. Yeah, I played like season 1 and 2 and then I stopped playing. Literally, I started playing last year in like September. Literally. So, but again, as you guys can see, we have our high and then we start to get lower highs, right? So now we understand what the trend is doing. Every single time price makes a new low, that is your indication. So as you can see, watch. All right. Price. This was resistance. All right. So this was resistance. Price came above, got back underneath of it, and then it sold off. All right. So now we just need to wait for a direction. Price for 4 hours was stuck in between this area, right? So what do we wait for? We wait for price to dictate to where it wants to go. And as you can see, it made a indication that it wanted to go lower. Why is this a indication? Because what? We make a lower low. Right? We had our low here. We make a lower low. Right? So now we make a lower low. So what has to happen? Price has to come back to this level, which is called our correction. Right? So let's do it like this. Indication. What is an indication? An indication in a downtrend is making a lower low, telling us that it wants to go lower. That is what an indication is. So my first sign that price is going lower is an indication in the market, giving us a lower low, right? Our correction in the market is the pullback, right? Why is it a correction? Because price has to rebalance, right? So if sellers hopped in here before, we could expect sellers to hop in here again to what? To give us another lower low. And as you can see, it does. But I'm just trying to show you guys what we're looking for. So when you guys start to trade, that you're not trading the indication, right? Or you're not trading in between the zone. Once we wait for the zone to break out, right, so we're just gonna call this a zone. In between support and in between resistance is a zone, right, called a no trade zone. Once we break out of the no trade zone, we want price to correct back to where it broke out from. So if it's support it broke out from, we want price to retrace to that support level. Once the support level holds, and then that is our trade. We will take the continuation of the trend. That is why we trade ICC, right? We trend continuations, right? Our continuation is price going this, giving us another lower low, right? So that is what we do. If you want to be, safe, you put your stop loss above the high, and then what we target, the next level of lows, which we get a 3.2R, and if you got lucky, you really caught the next level of lows here, which will give you what? and 9R, right? So that is kind of what we do, all right? We wait for indication. Once price makes that initial indication, we wait for a correction. Once price shows us that the correction is holding, we take the sell and we take it with the trend. So as you can see now, what is price doing? We have a high, and then what do we get? We get a higher high. Alright, so what is price doing? Price is just continuing to make higher highs, and we are making lower highs, alright? I mean, why ain't nobody correct me? You know that wasn't a lower high, that was a higher low. Alright, so now what does price do? Price makes another higher low. So if we're in a uptrend, what needs to happen? Alright, we get a high, we get a higher low. We get a higher high, we get another higher low. We get another higher high, we get another higher low. Right? That is how uptrends work. You feel me? What are you trading? So we trade gold, but we're just going over a chart, how to align high time frames, how to understand correction, indication, and continuation. During the indication and correction, are you monitoring on the 4-hour? So no. Basically, I want price to correct. Once it corrects in like the 30-minute, 15-minute time frame, that is where I would most likely take my entry. Well, I'll take it in the 5-minute or the 1-minute, but I'm just waiting. As you can see, you see price move sideways, right? You see how price is still giving us lower highs on a lower time frame? All right, we got a lower high here. All right, so we are getting indications still by market structure. Are you with SI? Yes. So as you can see, we are getting lower highs on a 30-minute time frame, which I like to use for market structure. I do not use anything below the 30-minute time frame for market structure if we're scalping. All right, swing trading, and then I'm gonna use the 1 hour or above. But when it comes to scalping, you have to look at market structure. Market structure is honestly the only way a market will move in the trend. All right. So if we have our low right here, right, the indication, right, is this. What does price do? It makes a lower low, right? We have our low right here. Price makes a lower low. ICC bid is, I don't know what that means, my boy. You gotta reword that. I do not speak whatever language that was. I don't know what bro just said. Right? Yabba dabba do. Right, but as you all see, right, we have a low. We have we're just gonna call this our high for now. Right? And then what do we have? We have a lower high. And then what do we get? Another lower high. Right? So we're already getting an inclination that price wants to go lower because it's not making any higher highs. So now what happens? We get below this support level. All right? Once we get below this support level, this is my indication that price wants to go lower. So now we just wait for price to correct. The correction is going to happen once you get a higher low. All right, what does price do right here? It comes down, it makes a higher low, which is probably a fib line, but it really doesn't matter because we're not trading it anyway. And it is, it's 618. Isn't that crazy? But regardless, is that price is, the correction is going to show you how to get back. Yes, ICT is, I still don't know what bro just said, bro. You gotta like reword that. ICT, BCT. What the hell does BCT mean? And what does FLEME? What does FLEMME? I don't even know what that means, bro. What do you get out of social media trading? I'm here to help people understand trading to become a better trader so they don't have to go through all the hardships of losing tons of money. Even though you're going to lose money when you're trading, right? But you don't have to go through all of the knowledge that I had to go through. I had to go through tons of it to weed out what way is the best way to trade. And that is why I'm here trading on social media, to help people become better so they could beat the rat race, so they don't have to work a 9 to 5. That's why I don't charge. My Discord, I could be charging $500 easily. I get free call outs, I engage, and I get free one-on-ones every single day. To anybody, free one-on-ones. I could be charging a lot of money, but I don't. I appreciate y'all. Alright, so basically back to what I was saying is that our indication is going to make a lower low, right? That is giving us the direction of the trend. The pullback is just going to give us a lower high, right? So that is what we need to understand, right? So if we need to understand the direction of the trend, we're going to have a low, a lower low. In a downtrend, once we get that pullback, it has to make a lower high. If price comes up and makes a higher high, higher than this high right here, and then trend is broken, and it's no longer gonna go lower, right? Or it could, but just for the sake of this argument, that it's not gonna go lower. The trend has to stay consistent, right? This is an industry where we can lock in and make millions with zero attention seeking. Yeah, 100%. At the end of the, okay, well, you said with zero attention seeking. What do you mean by that? I don't understand what you mean. Like somebody is seeking attention from people. I don't know what you mean by that. So please clarify. Oh, were you without doing that? Okay, I see what you mean. But as you guys can see, what does price do? Price respects this support, turning it into resistance. All right, so it's pushing price down. All right, so sellers are active. All right, sellers were active here, pushing price. Sellers were active here, which pushes price below support, right? So we want sellers to be active again at this level. Since they push price here again, we should want sellers to hop in at this level again. So once sellers show that they're active at this level again, that is where we take our trade, right? And then what this should give us? It should give us another lower low, which as you see it does. It gives us another lower low off of this right here. But we end up going way lower, right? But just for the sake of this, we go make another lower low right here, right? So that is kind of what ICC is by price literally following trend, right? High, low, lower high, support, another lower high, we get our lower low, right? We break this, giving me my indication, right? And then now we come back to the correction, right? Price stays underneath this level. Sellers are active again, pushing price to give us our lower low. So this is our continuation right here. All right, where do we sell from? Here, stop loss at this lower high, right? Take profit at external lows, which would be right here, would be our first TP1. All right, and as you can see, price plays out perfectly, and we get a nice almost 6R. All right, and then it literally just happens again, right? Over and over again. You could have hopped back in off of this right here. What does price do? It gives us what? Lower high, another lower high. We have a support right here. This time, this correction is going to be in a lower time frame. Where the hell is it at? There we go. All right, so as you can see, it's playing out in the 5-minute now. All right, we get our lower high right here. We get our indication right there. We get our correction. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Okay, right? So now we have our indication. Below this level, we should be bearish, right? Sellers are letting us know that below this level is bearish. Why? Because we get a lower low, right? We create a lower low. So now price is coming back to create what? A lower high. So now we take our sell and we catch the continuation of the trend. Excuse me. All right, stop loss at this lower high. TP where? At a next level of lows, which would be here or here. And as you can see, if we targeted them lows, look at this TP. Like, we go with trend continuation. That is why this system is so good, is because we allow the trend to continue, right? We're not going against the trend. We're not doing little scalps, right? We are literally, this is a 5-minute off a 5-minute time frame. And that is what we waited for. Literally, we caught this trade at 10 a.m. and it closes. We could have took profit at what, 1 a.m. All right, so but what time frame do you use? Yes, so we do a top-down analysis, right? The way that our system works, it has to happen on a higher time frame, right? So we go to the 1 hour. So listen, when it comes to I'm gonna take everything off of the screen, right? I'm gonna go back to gold because I don't really trade NQ, right? But let me just show you guys something. This is the 1 hour, this is the 4 hour, right? So we're gonna look at the last couple of days. So I'm gonna draw a vertical line so you can see where I'm talking about. All right, so right here is when trend switches, right? So as you can see, we were in a downtrend, right? From August 8th until August 21st, right? So for almost 3 weeks, we were in a downtrend, right? And as you guys can see, oh shit. All right, here we go. Right, so as you guys can see, we are making lower lows, right? We are making lower highs. Right, now we get into an uptrend and we're making higher highs and making higher lows. So now that we know what type of trend that we're in, that is when we scale down to a lower time frame, and all that you do is wait for a pullback into a level that you have created, either a support or a resistance level, right? And then that is how you get into the trend. So as you can see, the 4 hour allowed us to see what type of structure that we're in. So we are in a bullish structure, right? So again, what do we get? We have our high, we have our low. All right, and then we get what? A higher high, and then we get what? A higher low. All right, so we know, oh shit. So we know price is going higher because we are getting higher lows, higher highs. That is just common with market structure. It has to happen, right? So how do we find out to get into a trade? So what is an indication? How do we know when an indication happens? When price goes and does what? Makes a higher high. All right, so now we know that price is intending to go higher. right? We're intending to go higher. So this is my indication that price wants to go higher. Higher high, right? So now where's my correction? Are you trading Forex? No, we trade futures. We trade gold. We trade futures and we trade XAUUSD, but I only trade gold 99% of the time. Right, but again, we trade gold. If you guys come to my Discord and go to my TikTok, you will see that 99% of my trades are in gold. Right, gold is one of the best assets class in the world. It is very fluid. It is very easy. Trends are. What do you think about copy trading? I love copy trading. It just depends on what type of trader you are, right? If you passed evals, and then you should be somebody that has a funded account and should be copy trading multiple fundeds. But if you're in an eval stage and you have 5 evals, I don't recommend you copy trading them, because if you blow it and then you blow all 5 of them, right? So you work on evals one-on-one, and then once you pass the evals, and then you could start copy trading. And that's just my opinion. That's just how I like to do it. Again, I passed 6 evals in 1 week, and that was not copy trading. All right, so now what do we get? If we got a higher high, okay, if you have zero knowledge, get in my Discord. Every single day I go live and I do beginner breakdowns. I show you guys what you need to do on how to understand the market and how to start trading, right? I teach you how to start paper trading, what to look for, just all these type of things, right? So Chase, if you could send our link in the Discord for the guys in chat. There we go. Thank you, Pop. I appreciate that. All right, so again, a lot of the people that were in our Discord were beginner traders, and they are all at a step now where they're comfortable with trading. We put in work daily, guys. We do this. We go live almost Monday through Friday. If it's Monday through Thursday, like some days I don't go live Friday because the market is closed. My phone just died. I was letting this shit die. But yeah, again, at the end of the day, the way that we teach is so beginner friendly. You don't need to know all these ICT terms. Again, it's great to know them, right? But you don't need them. The way that we trade is called ICC, right? Indication, correction, and continuation, right? And as you can see, in a beginner, what I'm saying right now, it's not hard. If you're looking, if this is the last high, what is this one? It's higher than this high. So that means this is a higher high, right? So that means the market is still intending to go this way. So price is just making a pullback to make a higher low, right? And then that's where we take our entry. This is called the continuation. All right, it's the continuation of the trend. All right, we take our right here, we take our entry, and as you can see, price goes and makes another higher high. Right, so that is what we do. That is how we trade. It is very simple. It's very easy. You don't need to know breakup structures, change in state delivery, you know, fair value gaps, inversions, imbalances. Like, they help you when it comes to, you know, once you start to get more. What broker do I use? I use a couple different brokers, but I use a lot of prop firms. But if you want a broker, I like Liquid Brokers. Liquid Brokers is one of the best when it comes to FX. They are very good with payouts. They don't have a problem. I do use another one called CoinX, which is CoinEXX. I like that broker as well. But there are a couple brokers that I use. But I recommend, yeah, brokers are for live accounts. I recommend for beginning traders to use prop firms, because you get to spend $50 and then you get $50,000 worth of capital, and then you can make unlimited money with somebody else's money. So that is what I recommend for people who are beginners. It's just very easy in my opinion. Alright, so as you can see, we have our indication. What does the indication have to do? It has to give you a higher high. Alright, again, the correction is going to come back down to a support level or a resistance level. And as you can see, it comes right back down to this resistance. Most of the time, when price makes a higher high, and it's pretty high above this last high, it's going to come down to resistance. And then it's going to turn resistance into support like it does to push price higher, to make another higher high. Why does it do that? All right. Sometimes when you make a higher high, but it doesn't really get much above, sometimes it will go back down to support sometimes. But regardless, it doesn't break structure in a high time frame, so that's all that matters. Right? As you can see right here. Right? We make a higher high, but price retraces a little bit lower than our resistance level. Right? Where's our resistance level? Is this candle's right here, right? Price could not go above. So the people that don't understand what's going on, Rico, but resistance is the tops, right? Resistance is where price cannot go higher anymore. All right, so this is resistance. Price cannot go above this level. Support is on the bottom, right? Support is on the bottom, resistance is on the top. All right, when price breaks above, we want to turn the resistance into support, right? So what did price do here? Price broke above this high, and then it turns this resistance into support by meaning it's standing on top of it. This, yes, that's accumulation. Sideways movement is called accumulation in an uptrend, and then it's consolidation in a downtrend. So after a uptick, like this right here is an uptick, so price accumulates, and then we uptick again, and we reaccumulate. All right, but in between, what I'm trying to say is that the tops and bottoms of accumulation is called resistance and support. So we want price to make a high above the last high, right? And then we want price to retrace on top of resistance. So now it turns this resistance into support, right? And then we take our entry and we want to go above these highs here. And as you can see, we do. And then this is the last level of high, which is a resistance level. Price comes back, it stands on top of it. So now we have an indication above this level, we are bullish, right? Bulls are very active above this level. So we want bulls to be active again at this level again, right? And as you guys can see, bulls are active above this level, which is our correction phase, giving us a higher low. And now we take our entry and we continue in the trend, right? That is what ICC is. It is very common and very easy. It happens on every single time frame. It is probably the easiest strategy in the entire world. I used to trade ICC. I had around a 45-50% win rate. I was doing good. I changed over to this strategy, and out of almost 800 trades now on my account, on my MT5 account, I have a 71.9% win rate. And this is all from this strategy alone. I don't trade any other strategy. This is what I trade. How I enter the trade is a different story. I will use some types of confirmations, right? We use fib level as a entry. We use, fair value gaps being respected. We don't use them as an entry, but it allows us to see who is in control. You gotta remember, fair value gaps are something that pushes price so fast that it leaves a gap, right? So that allows us to know where buyers and sellers are at that time period. Pop, I appreciate the rose, bro. But all right, we also have candlestick formations that allow us to, identify where buyers and sellers are at. who's in control at that time period, right? These are the things that we have to understand in order to become great, successful traders. All right, but as long as your high time frame is in the direction of the trend, right? If you are seeing higher highs and higher lows in the direction of the trend, you got to remember that what's like certain sessions are going to carry the trend for you, right? And what I mean by that, let's look at this time period for right now, right? This is Asia open, right? What does Asia do? Asia sells off, and then this is London session. So London session consolidates, and then this is New York session open right here. We just made you rich with them roses. Oh, damn, I didn't even see that. Bro, just sent 18 of them bitches. I appreciate you, bro. I'm about to get paid. I just made 7 cents. We about to get rich off TikTok, boy. 7 cents? Oh, my God. Word up. Papa John, yo, this dude send gifts every time I'm in here, bro. He's like the only one, bro. I really appreciate it. It definitely helps us get me onto the FU page, bro. It'd be like 1 cent. Yo, facts. I'm literally at 7 cent on a day. That shit is ass. TikTok be really smacking. I feel like if I was on any other platform, I'll be going crazy. That's why I gotta start. Like, I really gotta find time to start actually like. You saw me broke. Nah, you good, bro. You good. You good. I don't even look. At the end of the day, I don't even really care about getting paid off these platforms. I just want to start reaching a broader audience. That's all that matters. Go on Kick. Yeah, I need to start doing some stuff like that then. Just spam the likes. Yeah, that's true too. They don't want you to make bread, for sure. For sure. I just gotta start. I gotta find somewhere that I could just like grind, bro. I just gotta find like a way I could just like really start to like do all of these what the fuck are they called, like editing and all that type of stuff for these videos, because I'm horrible at that stuff. I gotta figure out how to do it. Get clippers. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. All right, but back to what we were saying, bro. Yeah, I seen school. I just don't know what it's about. I don't know if it's really active like that. All right, but again, what I was saying, Asia session sells off. We're in an uptrend, right? So there has to be pullback. Where is the pullback going to be if New York session has made a higher high, right? So as you can see, watch. New York session makes the higher high, and then we consolidate for the rest of the day. End of the day, we pick up and make the rest of the higher high, right? So if we're making higher highs, where's the higher low going to be at, right? So Asia session has to make that higher low, or London. And as you can see, Asia session sells off to a resistance level, making our higher low. London session kind of consolidates for the rest of the session, and then New York session opens up and carries us into our higher high, right? So what is Asia session going to do? It's going to sell off. London session is going to move sideways, and then this time London gave us that higher high. So, and then New York carries it, right? This is New York session, and New York carries and pushes us higher. So if London and New York just made a higher high, who has to make the higher low? So Asia session is going to sell off. London session sells off. So if we're going to do anything, who's going to make that higher high? New York session is going to go and make that higher high like it just did, right? So this is how trading works. This is how understanding sessions work. So if you're trading Asia session in a if you're trading Asia session and we're in a bullish structure, just make sure that you have a targeted area, right? Because again, Asia session isn't going to go take out New York lows. It never will do that ever in a uptrend, right? So just remember how sessions work. So where price will pull back to, so you could get in and ride the wave for New York session or a London session, all right? Asia session 100% went crazy last night. So if Asia session makes higher highs, like it does right here, higher high. So what did New York session do? New York session went sideways, right? So that is what you guys have to understand. If one session makes the high, one session is going to pull back, and then one session is going to make the high again, right? It's accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's going to continue to do that. One session is going to have to make a lower high. So in the 4-hour time frame, where's our lower high? This is our last lower high right here. Right, so we are expecting a pullback to one of these levels. So I would hope that we get a pullback to give us another high. Because right now we are, yeah, this is gold. Right now we are literally in a parabolic curve. Right, it's literally a parabolic curve. This is crazy. So what's going on, bro? You feel me? So this is kind of where we're at. We just want Fab, what's going on, bro? Hey, yo, Fredo told I gotta message you. I was talking to Fredo the other day, bro, and Fredo told me to holla at he got to talk to you. But I'm gonna call you after this live. I'm yeah, Fredo said he got to talk to you. All right. But yeah, you feel me? So we are basically just waiting for some type of reaction back down to a support level or a resistance level. And as you guys can see, we have a support level right here. So for me, I am hoping that we get a sell-off down to this level. I probably would expect for Asia session to take this this high of London, and then we might sell off back down to this level. Say no more. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm about to just send you this number right quick. Info, copy. Oh shit, I mean do that. How do I copy this number? But yeah, so again, we just want to see some type of reaction, right? We need some. What does a parabolic curve mean, bro? It is just a formation. Like if I, matter of fact, let me try and show you real quick. So it's basically, so the mathematic term of a parabolic curve is a plane curve with a U shape with a mirror symmetry, right? So if we go look on the daily time frame, right, we have a U shape literally almost straight up and down, right? So a parabolic, it just means that it's exponential. It's moving rapidly, like super fast. Like Bitcoin. Like let's see what Bitcoin looked like. That was a parabolic curve, right? It was super low and then look. All right, well, it's not even showing us from past July, but as you can see, we just go literally straight up. If we see Bitcoin, it was like flat, and then we go straight the fuck up, right? So that's what a parabolic curve means. It just means the way of the trend after changing from where it was, right? So these are the type of things that algorithms hold in place. So when they start to see parabolic curve, as you can see, we were flat. All right, and then let's see, we're almost at like a 90-degree angle. All right, so that is what parabolic curve means, is that, damn. Oh, the draft is today? What can you use it for? So it's basically to allow you to know that algorithms and all these other things are very pressured, and basically it's going to increase. It's going to increase in order. It's going to increase in size and stability and be super fast, right? So that is what we use. So basically what you got to understand in parabolic curve is that that the trend is literally going to continue. Like, look, this is almost 70-degree angle off of this flat line, right? We are almost straight up, bro. 77-degree. Right, so basically when you start to see things like this, just know that the trend is very strong and that people are basically overloading, right? It's like when you see something like It's like when you see a heavy volume candle and you're like, oh my God, look at all this volume coming into the market. You know, we're about to get an explosion. Or like, well, right before news happens and we get them big ass candles, when you start to see curves like this, you just got to expect that this trend is going to be very strong and it's going to be very fast, right? That again, every New York session, we get about 4,000 ticks almost. Look, this is, hold on, let me go down to New York session. All right, we get about 4,000 ticks per session, which is insane, bro. Insane. Watch, ready? This is New York session right here to here. Hold on, I don't like top step on this one. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. All right, can you guys share my screen? GC1. All right, there we go. Oh, why did I say 4,000? I meant to say 4 to 500. Pardon me. I'm thinking of you use top step. Yeah, I use top step. All right, look, another 400, 300. All right, here, how much is this? Another 260, right? So these are just, hold on, was that New York session? Yeah, that was New York session. All right, so we just get these big, like if you're looking right now, what is New York doing? Every New York session, we're getting these, 500-600 points, which would be, or yeah, 560, add a zero to it. Damn, yeah. So we are getting around that much, right? So this is just kind of what New York is doing, right? New York is making these crazy moves up. Where's my drawing tool? All right, watch. New York makes the move up. Asia goes sideways. This time, New York really didn't do much, right? Asia moved this up. 10 a.m. London moved sideways. New York moved this up. London moved this down. I mean, Asia moved this down. London moved sideways. New York moved this up. You guys get to see like the pattern? Like that is literally a pattern every single day. This is what uptrends do. Look, Asia moved this down. Asia moved this down. London moved this sideways. And it started to bring us up. And then New York carried out the move. Asia moved this down. London moved this down. New York carried out the move. All right. So just remember what sessions are used for and how. Why is it showing me that? I don't care. But now, though, this is the problem, is that we are at an area where people are honestly not understanding. Well, not, let me say not understanding. We're at an area when we just broke through resistance on a higher time frame. All right? We literally just broke, look at this daily time frame. We just broke resistance on a daily time frame. That is, we haven't done that since April. We haven't been this high since April. Above this box, we have not been this high since April. Right? So, not many people are understanding what to do, right? There's not a lot of data that people are searching for, which again, it's just a hard time to trade. So for me, looking at this on a 4-hour time frame, I am looking for price to hold above this level. If we could get hold above this gray box, and then we could maybe look for more longs, right? But I am looking for price to at least either retrace to this daily or give me a retrace to this level right here. Right? Either way, I need some type of backpedal. I will not be taking any buys. Where would you target all-time highs? There's nowhere to target, literally. Where do you target? You just target what? Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I'm not looking for any buys in gold until we get a retrace. You feel what I'm saying? So that is kind of what I'm expecting and hoping for. I'm hoping that London session sells off. All right, it's 8:30. New York session is, I mean, London, Asia session is still you know, just getting started Asia session. A structure break on a low time frame above the zone. Is your entry signal correct? Can you send me a screenshot of what you mean by that? A structured break on a low time frame above the zone. Yes. Okay, never mind. So let's find out. Let's say, for instance, I want to get in this trade. All right. So let's identify our areas. All right, so we have our New York session carried us. Asia session moving sideways. We're getting into the end of London session. All right, so let's mark out our highs and our lows. All right, we have our support right here. We have our resistance right here. All right, so now we're getting a break above this area. So now I'm realizing that we are getting higher highs as of this moment. All right, and we also have our higher low. All right, so now I am in, let's go to the 1 hour. All right, and we see that we did give us a higher high. All right, the 5 minute is showing us above this high being held. All right, price makes our higher high. Above this, we're being held. All right, so again, we were in an uptrend, right? What did Asia do? Asia sold off below this support line. All right, this is our support. Asia sold off below it. Once we got back above this level, and then I'm understanding that bulls are active, right? So we have buying pressure above this level. Why? Because we get a higher high. So again, a early entry would have been a break above this level. All right, a break above this level, giving us a break of structure or a market structure shift. And then we get our break of structure right here. All right, so now what do? We pull out our fib level from the here to here. We get what? A 705 extension. We take our trade right there. All right, stop loss at the bottom, TP, you know, wherever you want to put it. All right, but that is kind of what I'm looking for. We had a downtrend. We had the last recent high get broke. We end up breaking the high that broke that high, giving us two market. Let me just mark this shit out. Market structure shift. All right, we end up getting a BOS. All right, again, we don't trade ICT. We just use these as confluences to help us out. All right, so that is where we would take it on a little type scalp. But as, again, that's out of session, so let's try and find a trade to in session. All right, so now we make our higher high. We have our what? Our higher lows. All right, so again, we don't want these. Let's go into 15-minute real quick. And as you can see, we make this higher high above this level. We still are above this high here, right? So this is a good sign that this is going to hold as resistance to push price higher. Stop loss below this low. All right, so now we're going to go back down to like the 5-minute time frame. And we're basically just going to wait, right? Only because right now, look, we have a high, we have a lower high, and then we have a minor support level that is turning into resistance, right? So we want to see price break above that. And as you can see, look, what does it do? It rejects it, right? For that time period. Boom. Now we get, I hate this, what's the name? I hate this replay trade because it never, like, you hit pause and it like prints 2 more candles. right? So now again, if let's just say you missed that trade, I'm going to show you how to continue to get in trades and what we're waiting for. Right, so now we just make a higher high, right? So now we know above this level we are bullish because in the higher time frame, it's only one higher high, right? We have the pullback, we make the higher high, right? So now we know that above this level we are bullish, right? So now I'm still going back down to the 5-minute time frame. That honestly was the best entry right there, guys, to be real. But it still has to play out on another time frame, on a lower time frame. I mean, pardon me. It has to play out on the higher time frame, right? So now, what are we getting? We make the higher high. We are getting the pullback now on a higher time frame, right? So even though we could have entered on the low time frame and took this entry, price would have pulled back, right? So now, what are we doing? I'm taking my buy, putting my stop loss at this low, this last higher low. All right, and then where do we target? We would go to like the 4-hour time frame, and we're gonna target these highs. Go back down to the 5-minute. Again, it could have been a little bit of a better entry, but that is kind of what I'm looking for. Once this level holds right here, all right, we're already making higher highs, right? So this pullback just created us a lower high. Ouch, right? As you can see, price is just being a little choppy right now. All right, but we are still just holding market structure pretty well. All right, we're still printing higher highs. We are getting our pullbacks to create what, lower highs. All right, we're in order flow right now. That's why price is just not doing what we want it to do. All right, it's not running to profit. All right, what's price retrace to? Retraces to this high. What does price do? It bounces off of it. Okay, that's a good thing to look at, right? So let me take this off so you guys can see. Do you see how we are making lower highs right now? And you see how this was the last high? Oh, let me draw this a little bit better. I'm gonna do this. All right, so you see how we didn't get underneath of it. We got underneath of a little bit, but price literally was like, nah, I'm not ready to go underneath this yet, right? So as we get back underneath of it and we are printing higher highs right now, that is like where I'm getting in at, right? I'm getting in, hold on, what time is it? 1 a.m., 2:30 a.m. So again, exactly, we definitely be careful about the time frame because we always know that London session likes to open, take the low of London, and then go higher. So if this is London open right now, it just took its low, literally, and then it probably moved higher. Okay, now we are getting higher highs, right? This was the last high. We just broke above it. We have another high right after it. So we are now finally forming bullish structure whenever it decides it wants to fucking run. Okay, we're still not getting bullish structure. So now, there we go. Okay, now we just broke these highs. Still haven't got above this level. There we go. Okay, now we just broke resistance. We got this little I need to study my sessions on my. Yes, you got to, because you're definitely gonna get manipulated and enter too early. Again, because of being out of session. Session is just time frames. It's just the time. From 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock is New York session. From 6 o'clock until 2 o'clock is Asia session. From 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, no, 2 o'clock to 9 o'clock is London session. All right, ready? New York session. I like to do pre-market. Oh, where you at? What, you in Cali? Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Oregon, Tennessee? It ain't no fucking Tennessee, bro. Bro, you is on the Eastern Standard Time if you in Tennessee. We about to fight. This dude said I'm on the whole other side of the... Hold on, I'm on the other side of the country. Hell... Oh, okay, never mind. We about to fight. We was about to fight. Alright, I'm just gonna write this shit out and then you can... I'm just gonna write this shit out. New York session. I do pre-market. I'm not saying I'm correct. I like pre-market. Pre-market in New York, and it starts at 9 o'clock. Go look at 9 o'clock from the last fucking year and go tell me where the most action has been. From 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock has been the most action, which is London close and New York pre-market open. That is when the market moves the best and almost gives you the sense of direction for the day. Right? Okay, you're in Oregon basically. Okay. Well, hold on. You cannot be basically in Oregon. So you're either in Washington, Oregon, or California. Right? So I'm gonna do 9 o'clock because to me that is the New York session. I don't give a fuck if it's pre-market or not. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is New York session. Asia session, we're gonna call Asia session open up at 6, but Asia session does not open up at 6. Asia session opens up at 8 p.m. Sydney session opens up at 6, right? But they're literally counted as one, right? I think it's 9 a.m. honestly. Hold on, 2 a.m. to 8 would be 8 hours though. I'm almost positive that's 9 though. I could have swore. $3 a.m. to 12 p.m.? Holy shit. That's like 9 hours. Are they all 9 hours? Am I correct right now? So pre-market London opens up at 2 and then it closes at 9 a.m. Alright. Matter of fact, I really think it's 2:30 is pre-market. Skrilla was good. At 9 to 4. That is why we trade. Okay, so this is what, yeah, we're just gonna do it the regular times. So let's see what they say about New York because this shit is off. 8 a.m. to 5. Alright, yeah, that sounds about right. That's a lot better. That is why, maybe, yo, you know what's crazy? Do you know the time frames that I trade are literally market open and market close without even me knowing that completely? All right, so this is the sessions that we trade. All right, and I'm going to show you the times that I trade. So you know to stop looking at the fucking charts if they're not in between these times. Hold on, let me send this number to somebody right quick. Just got home, missed my entry by a little. Oh, what you about to take a trade? All right, but look real quick, guys. So I'm gonna put this shit right here for the people that, you know, maybe haven't took a screenshot yet. But you're looking to sell gold? I don't even know, to be honest. We haven't looked at this charts in a minute. Let's see what gold is looking like. Fuck no. We missed our entry at 7 o'clock. Why? Why do we miss our... Oh, hold on. This is... No, hold on. Oh, this was during my one-on-one session that we were talking about. Okay, so... Yeah, that would have been... Well, as you can see... Oh, you just need 70 bucks? That's crazy. Yeah, you definitely did miss your entry then. That would have been a good entry. But look what's happening, guys. Price rejected this on a higher time frame, which is what a high time frame would be. All right, let's see something. I guarantee it's a fib level. Look, fib level. I think we're coming to take out these lows, these London lows. All right, but I would need to see this level get, I need to see this lower high get broke. I mean this higher low, sorry. All right, once we could break that, that is kind of what I would look for, because this is a 1 hour time frame. If we could get underneath this lower high, all right, if this level is held, in this, what we have like 9 minutes left, that's gonna be big. Honestly, we are still getting higher highs. All right, it's just, again, what coin is this? This is XAU USD. Can you see it in the background? You see XAU USD, gold versus dollar. It's always in the background if you want to see it. And the time frame is right here, right? 30 minute, 1 minute, 4 hour, right? But honestly, again, I want London low to get taken out, but it's just not ready for that. As we get above this resistance, creating higher highs, right? This is our new indication. Matter of fact, I'm bugging. Don't even delete what I just said. This is our higher high right here. We didn't make a higher high higher than this, right? So that is what I mean by indication. That higher high has to go above the last previous higher high, right? If this is the higher high, this is the next higher high, so this will be our correction, right? Again, on a lower time frame, if we're scalping, and then there's a possibility, right? that we can make a higher high, right? But since this, yeah, I wouldn't want to go higher. Not yet, at least. I would like to see more. I would like to see a level above this in order for me to count this as an indication, right? So I would like to see this above this high right here to give us a higher high, and then a correction back down to this level to go higher, right? That is a higher high. Yes, this is a higher high in a lower time frame, but it's not a higher high in a sense of ICC. Yeah, my fault. So we are getting a nice rejection off of. It's just, yeah, I wouldn't want to use this shit. I'm like, again, for me, we are in too much chop and too low of a volume. We are getting volume to pick up now. Look, Asia session is about to open up in what, a couple minutes? In 9 o'clock, Asia session opens up. Well, pre-market's 8, 9 o'clock is Asia open. All right, so volume is picking up. Let's see where Sydney opened up at. We had a low open. Holy hell. Yeah, we had a low open. I want to see this high get swept. If one of these highs gets swept and we get back underneath of this resistance, and then it wouldn't be a bad idea to sell off, right? But good time? Hell no. Where's the direction? Yeah, so 8 to 9 is pre-market. Yeah, it's crazy that a lot of the times that we've traded, honestly, we were actually really wrong about the times. These are the actual times of gold. These are the actual times period of the market. New York session opens up at 8 and closes at 5. Pre-market from 8 to 9. Right? People will tell you 9:30, which is insane. I've always was taught that, but it's not true. Look, New York Forex trading sessions from 8 a.m. to 5. Standard hours open up at 9 a.m. So pre-market's 8, 9 a.m. is open. People tell you 9:30. That's wrong. Right? Asia session is the same thing. Watch. Asia session opens up 9 o'clock. Which is equivalent to 10 p.m. EST. What time do I tell you guys that I trade Asia session? Right? Around midnight, right? 10 o'clock's when it moves. That is when it really opens up. You know what I mean? But it hits pretty hard at 9:30. Yes, no, I'm not saying that. That is like, again, you don't want to trade, like for me, like I like to trade pre-market because that is when the direction, okay, watch this. Let me not even talk about it. Let me just go show you when the biggest moves happen in the market. All right, watch. Look, you'll be like, what the fuck? Watch. Okay, ready? What time is this? 2:40. 2:45. What time does London session open? 2:30. And we get this big ass move down, right? What time is this? 9:15. New York session opens up at 8 a.m. 9 o'clock is pre-market. 9:15, we get this big ass move up. Hold on, can you guys even see that? No, you can't. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to this shit. This shit I hate. Yo, I really do hate fucking trade. Whatever this shit is called. TikTok. Like they make this shit so retarded, right? But look, 9:15, market moves higher. Right? What time does market move higher here? We get that leg up at what, 7:30, 8:15. We get that push up. Market opens right here at 9:30. We get that push up, right? So we get to start the move around 7 to 8 o'clock. All right. Let's see what this is. What time is it right here? 9 o'clock on the dot. We get that move up. What time is this? 8 o'clock. We get that move down. All right. When is the biggest move up? This opens up at 9:45. When do we get this move down? At 8 o'clock, which I just said we have the Asia session from 8 to 9 o'clock is pre-market. So we get the biggest moves at pre-market almost every single time. Right? We get this pre-market up at 9 o'clock. We get that big move up. Right? 9:30 opens up short. That's another thing. If you're waiting for 9 o'clock, you're getting off on a downtrend, and then you're thinking price may be going lower just for it to go higher on you, right? So that's why I get in the market around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, just to get the better understanding. Right? What time is this big ass move up? At 8 o'clock. Right? Which is what? Which is Asia pre-market. Right? What time is this big ass move up? It starts pre-market at 9 o'clock. All right, what time is this move up? It opens pre-market at what? 9 o'clock. What time we get this move down? What time we break support? We break support at 9 o'clock on the dot, 9 p.m. Yeah, so Asia session. All right. What time is this move? 7 a.m. We catch this pre-market move, or this end of the market move for London. All right, so this is why I trade these times only. Have you guys known me? You guys know that I only fucking trade these times. All right, there are times when I do catch things in between, but for the most time, you guys get to see. Look, what time do we get this move up? 9 o'clock, we get this big ass parabolic move up. London, okay, right here. 7 o'clock, we get this move down. And then New York session continues at 9:30 and pushes us lower. Same thing, we start this move on London session at 8:45 and we push lower, but it started the move at midnight, 1 o'clock, 3:30. So again, I'm not going to keep going back every fucking day, but you get what I'm saying. Right, as you can see, we swept the highs on GC1. It's 9 o'clock. Asia's going to sell off. Yep, we swept the highs with GC1. We didn't sweep the highs on XAU. What's that called? What's that called? We just got a divergence. London highs were swept on GC1. XAU is creating a lower high. So what's that mean? We're about to sell off. We're about to sell off. If price is making a lower high and one swept the highs, you're about to sell off. Price is about to sell off. You already know lower highs means price is going lower. If liquidity was grabbed, that's another reversal, right? So if London highs just got grabbed, where's our next target? London low. Where's London low at? 6 a.m. Sorry, is right here. All right, this is a nice target. Why is it also a nice target? Because it's a nice support level. I feel you. I've done that before. All right, so I would like for price, as you can see, it's stopping at this high right now. All right, I would like to see price fall underneath of this level. Once price gets underneath this level, it might be a good way to sell off. All right, but again, I'm not selling anything underneath if it's not underneath this level. All right. I would like to see us get a fib level. It is a fib level. It already is a fib level. If I go to a higher time frame, look, fib level. All right, so we do have a pretty nice. There's a couple of things that's aiming that price wants to go lower. Again, we could just consolidate. That is why I just don't trade these type of sessions. We are getting a definitely nice increase worth of volume, right? So volume is increasing on in a uptrend, and then we might be going higher. So again, these are the two things that I'm looking for. Price just made a lower high. Pardon me, a higher low. We have a higher high on this 5-minute time frame, right? So we just need to be patient, right? Wait for price to get back underneath this level. As you can see, it rejected this fair value gap right here, which is a first fair value gap, which is always the strongest in a 5-minute sequence, right? That was probably a fib retracement right there. Look, 618. Touches it, retraced. And it's a good 4 points, $50 per point. Per tick times 4, it's like $2 grand. All right. How can you help us with traps and reversals? So really, traps and reversals are basically because you are not following a high time frame, right? So if you're getting reversed and trapped on, it's because you are going against the trend. So basically, what we need to understand is that any single time prices go higher, you will notice that lows have been grabbed. For instance, look at this nice move to the upside. Look where our lows are at, right here. So if we're in an uptrend and we're making higher highs, if price goes beneath these lows, it is not to go lower. It is more of a trick, right? It wants you to think we're selling off, and then it reversed right on you, right? So you just got to remember that the high time frame is the direction of the trend. If you're not trading the direction of the trend, and then you are honestly just being manipulated, you got to understand where. Again, high time frame is direction. If you're going to look at the high time frame, if you're getting higher highs, and then you know the direction is going higher. So you have to anticipate pullbacks, and pullbacks are going to go to levels of support and resistance, right? And then the only time price is breaking them levels is when price actually reverses. So if on a high time frame, if this is our last lower high, we will not be taking any sells down to certain levels until these levels are broken. You could take sells down to these for little scalps, right? Which is still a nice, $7, which is for, hold on, how much is that? Yeah, you take this scalp now with one lot or one mini, $800. Right, so you can take these scalps in short, but just make sure that, again, we don't really, again, if you guys know how I trade, come to my Discord. My Discord, I basically give breakdowns on every single trade that I take, and I give call outs to around 3 to 4 trades that I take, at least per day, sometimes around that. Yeah, I try to help you guys out to see what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? But a lot of times reversals and traps are basically us not following the higher time frame trend. I'm joining now, yeah, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna help. If you guys come to my Discord, you will see that we are getting people to have payouts for the first time. People passing funded accounts, right? I do live one-on-one sessions for free. You know what I mean? Like, you can't beat my Discord. It's honestly probably one of the best. Everybody helps you out. Everybody wants to, to be everybody wants to be profitable. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Nas, that long print on NAS. What's NAS doing right now? And another thing that we also have to look at is USD, right? Is the DXY, because if DXY is moving higher, and then that means gold is going lower. What do you trade on? Okay, it just depends. Are you a FX trader or are you a futures trader? Because we trade both. So if I'm trading futures, I'm trading on TradingView. If I'm trading FX and then I'm trading again on my MT5 account. You trade futures, that's good. So I use Top Step and I use TradingView. So majority of the time I schedule a one-on-one for tomorrow. Okay, just make sure you guys remind me the day that you have a one-on-one. Like in the morning or like maybe an hour or two before your one-on-one. Damn, bro, Bubbles, I appreciate all the gifts, guys. I really do. So just make sure that you are letting me know the days you have one-on-ones, because I just don't, it doesn't show up on my calendar for some reason. So if you guys have a one-on-one, please message me that day. I'm not trying to miss, you know what I mean? So please don't message me 2 days beforehand, but I got a one-on-one on Friday, because I swear to God, I'll forget in fucking 30 seconds. So just message me the day of your one-on-one, so at least I know what's going on. You feel me? I sent you a message. All right, say no more, say no more. But yeah, join the Discord and I'll make sure you get what you guys need. We most of the time we are on TradingView. TradingView is most likely the easiest platform to use, and it has everything that we need, right? I like Top Step. I like Blue Guardian Futures. I will go over the futures that I use, the accounts that I use, for the people that want to buy prop firms and get into that route. Prop firms, in my opinion, are the easiest and the best way to, without spending a lot of capital, right? You could actually make a couple dollars without spending a lot of capital. Bro, you from Philly? Why you say that? Why you say that? But yeah, so prop firms to me are the best route to go. You spend a couple dollars and then you can get payouts up to 50 or what's Alpha Futures is like 15K per payout, because you hear in your slang. That's crazy. I'm from North Jersey. I'm not from Philly though. I'm from New Jersey. I said North Jersey. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm from New Jersey. I'm like 10 minutes from Philly, 15 minutes from Philly. Why, you from Philly? I'm from the shore. You from Jersey Shore? Okay, you from Philly. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying you from North Philly? Alright, you from the trenches then. That's where my brother at. My brother in North Philly. Yeah, you're bro from the trenches. I ain't gonna hold you. North Philly get real. Northeast. I was out northeast though. I was out Kensington. Kensington is slums. But that's my stomping grounds, bro. When I was younger, I was all throughout Philly, bro. You from Red? Okay, I used to live up in Monmouth County. That's Monmouth County, Red Branch, Long Beach area. I know where you at. I was in Keensburg. I was in Keensburg. That's probably like 30 minutes from Red Bank. North Patterson is the trenches. So yeah, so you see that's the thing. You from North Jersey, so you don't even know what the South Jersey doing, like Camden, Salem County. That's where I'm from, Salem County. Um, Salem County, Camden. That's like South Jersey trenches. But North Jersey, North is definitely the bad. Like is the trenches in New Jersey. If anybody know anything about New Jersey, everybody gonna talk about North. You fucked up your settings. How you, Brick City? That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, I feel you, bro. At the end of the day, trading is probably the first time I ever made legal money, like real legal money. You feel me? Like so, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sell you no dream. They said Chief Keef can't come. Oh yeah, they gonna blow New Jersey out. Chief Keef made that shit. Yeah, hell no, he will not walk. Sam, yeah, man, that small man, I bought a fridge out there, and Bull burnt you. Sell in the trenches, bro. They really low key grimy as hell. That's why I had to get up out of there, bro. But what I was finna say, I'm not gonna sit here and what's the name? Hold on, I gotta text Shorty back right quick. Oh, she in the live. I didn't even know that. Um, but what was I finna say, bro? How long you been trading? I've been doing this shit for a little minute now. I started trading like 2014, but I didn't really get into it seriously. I was dabbling into it, like doing penny stocks, making a couple dollars and stuff. But it hasn't really been like I would say I really locked in around like January, right? February, March, April. April is when I got is like when I started to like really get payouts and stuff. Um, but I really it's crazy because I haven't really April of what year of this year. But I haven't even like I haven't been trading my fundeds, so I haven't even had a payout in like this whole month, which is crazy because I haven't been trading my funded account. Um, but yeah, bro, April of this year is already locked in, bro, and that's when everything changed. Um, but let me tell you this. I'm not gonna sit here and sell you a dream. Trading is hard. You're gonna overthink. You're gonna overanalyze. You're gonna sit here and do shit that it's gonna frustrate you. You're gonna cut your profits early. You're gonna take trades that you shouldn't be taking. You're gonna FOMO. You're gonna sit here and just fucking chase money, right? Once you get over that, because it's gonna take you a while to get over that. It's not gonna be easy. What broker should I use? Um, I think I already asked you this question. What do you trade? Futures? Yeah, you said you trade futures. In my opinion, stick with prop firms. In my opinion, right? Let me ask you this: do you trade gold or do you trade NQ as well and like ES? Like, what do you normally trade? That will help me out. Yeah, no, that's facts. You trade crypto like BTC. Like, all right, let me say this. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot harder. Looking forward to it, bro. I appreciate you joining. But it's gonna bluefin. Okay, so you are basically trading just crypto right now, right? Um, I think you should try a $50 right now. Top Step, no, do Blue Funded Futures. They're doing $50 with no activation fee right now for $50, a 50K account, right? But I believe, bro, me personally, again, is to get a funded account through Top Step, Blue Funded Future, or Blue Guardian Futures, My Funded Futures, Alpha Capital, Alpha Futures. Any of these groups, they're like $50, $70 tops, right? Blue Guardian Futures is doing a promo code, buy one get one free. So if you buy one and get a payout, you get one for free, right? That I just bought one, right? It was $50, right? But what I'm saying is that we use prop firms, so you don't really use brokers. You use somebody that's loaning you money to make money. That's what these things are, right? So that's what I recommend. And then you take your money that you earn from these prop firms, and then you put it into a live account, right? And then again, once you get to that stage, I'll tell you what live account to use. I don't recommend live future accounts. I don't know. I don't like live future accounts. Um, I like live FX accounts. Because again, I only trade gold. That's all I trade. I don't 99. If you go to my TikTok and watch my videos or my screenshots and stuff, 99% of my trades are on gold. Is because gold is a very simple asset to trade, and they are very smooth. Right? Gold does not give you a lot of like NQ gives you a lot of fake outs, right? NQES is a lot of manipulation, right? Because there's a lot of things that go on with that asset. You have, first of all, NQ has 100 stocks, right? ES has 500 stocks, right? So there's a lot more that plays in to the part of why this asset is moving in the direction that it's moving, right? So I don't really trade these stocks, and this is the reason why. As you guys can see, like, let me just try and show you, like watch this. Can you guys see this shit real quick? I want to zoom out without zooming out too far. Like, look, we're in an uptrend, and then we tank, breaking all of these lows, and then we continue in an uptrend, right? That is very odd. Normally, once you break a trend, you will continue in that trend. This broke trend, and then for a day and a half, it just picked back up in trend, right? It broke all of our rules, right? So I just don't trade NQ because it's so uncertain, guys. Like, look at all this chop, right? We get above these highs, and then we move sideways for days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions we move sideways. And then what do? We break above the highs, giving us an indication that above this, we're bullish. And then what does it do? It gets beneath of it, right? So it doesn't hold to ICC. It does whatever the fuck it wants. I could go to gold and show you that this never happens. Not one time have I found gold go into the direction, give me an indication, and then give me and then sell off. You know what I mean? If gold is giving me a higher high, it's going to correct back to this level here to make a higher high. I've never seen this ever. An indication above making higher highs and then price making a lower low. Like, it doesn't follow structure, so I'm not going to trade something that doesn't follow structure. That's like taking a test at school and your teacher gives you a study guide and then you get the test and it's a whole different fucking subject. All right? Asia session is ripping, guys. But do you guys see what's going on? Like, I literally just showed you NQ. Look, this is the last high, right? Asia opens up, it comes down to this high, it respects it. So this is my higher high. Right? This is my indication that price is going higher. Why is it indication that price is going higher? Because this is my last high. Right? So this is my last higher high. Right? Price made an indication that above this level we're bullish. All right? We are above this level, we are bullish. So now we correct ourselves back to where? Back down to this high, which is a what? A resistance zone, which turns it into support. So correction. All right, so now we know. Oh shit, where'd it go? Yeah, so now we know this is our continuation. Price is continuing in the trend. What did it just do? It made a higher high. Right, so that it's shooting for 35. Not yet. It ain't going there yet. Not yet. We ain't gonna get higher highs until the New York session. If it goes and hits higher highs for Asia session, that'd be crazy. And it's 3,600 to be, if you want to, 35.95. Matter of fact, it might be like that on gold though. What is it? Oh shit, we are very close. Yo, we about to hit all-time highs, bro. 3,500 on XAU. Yo. Yo. No, I'm not waiting for 2 indications. Let me show you again, bro. Rico, ready? This is the high. What did price do? What if it does drop? That means it's bearish? No, because price could retrace without breaking structure on a higher time frame, and it could still be bullish. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. What were you talking about, Chase? I forgot. I did yesterday, remember? Not in Asia. Hold on. Would you say certain strats run better on different assets? Um, yeah, I guess you could say that. I guess there would be certain like again, ICC works in every fucking setting, but I'm just talking about that NQ and ES are there's so much heavily relied on them that they could flip a script in a second. Tesla could fucking somebody could die in a Tesla and that stock could drop, which would mess up the average weight of NQ and make NQ go crazy, right? Gold, there's only one thing that goes with gold, and it goes the dollar, right? So there's just more variables, right? Like fucking Amazon could put out a new fucking, let's say a new type of payment and make NQ go through the roof when it's in a downtrend. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot of things that allow price to move and fluctuate in NQ and ES just because there's 100 or 500 different companies. So if one does something new, or let's say five do something new, and then you're in a downtrend already, and then them five are definitely a higher stock value weight, and then that can move the trend. And now you were in a downtrend thinking price is going to hold structure, and then these new things allow it to run. Gold is steady. Gold only goes against the dollar, right? So if the dollar is increasing, gold is decreasing. If the country and the economy is doing bad, gold is doing good, right? So there's a lot less things and a lot of things that are have more stability when it comes to gold. But Rico, look what I'm saying. This is the high, right? We made an indication above this high that we are going higher. We stand on top of it and we go higher, right? So this is my indication, this is my correction, and then this is my continuation. All right, I want to see a retrace back down to this level now that we've just made a higher high off of this right here. All right, so that is kind of what I would want for London to reach. It's only 9 o'clock. It's super fucking early. All right, I want to see price retrace. All right, I need some type of pullback. All right, we got a pullback here into this FVG. All right, but we didn't even come down to like 30%. It may even go to 360 depending on the news this week. We have non-farm numbers. Yeah, honestly, gold is about to run. Gold is about to do numbers that we haven't seen before, only because of Fed rates decreased. Pardon me. Is that the Fed rates, right? There's a lot of things that are going that's playing part of the economy. And if you guys know anything about how economics and microeconomics work, is that gold is a safe haven, right? Gold is a safe haven for a lot of investors, right? So when, hold on real quick. Yeah, so when the dollar is weakened, gold increases through the roof, right? So if the rates are cut, that means dollar is weakening, so gold is going to be hedged by these firms, right? So pretty much ICC won't work if you don't wait for the right entry. Yeah, so again, you could do all of ICC is all about the correction. It's all about the continuation of the trend, right? That is what it means. Indication means it's making a high. Let's say we're in an uptrend. Indication is price making a high. A correction is price respecting that level, coming back to test that level. And then the continuation is what we trade to continue with the trend. That is why I'm still holding a trade from last month, right? Is because ICC is allowing me to do so. We entered like right around here, right? Fib level. The reason I didn't get out is because price respects our fib level, right? So there's market volume trying to get trades, 2 trades before 12 most days. Yeah, again, I'll tell you guys over and over and over again, there's only like 3 hours per session that I trade, right? It's because price has moved and showed me in the past for the last year that price has moved the very most in these couple hours. So I don't trade outside of these hours. But again, ICC is the correction of the trend. And if you can see, we are always getting, like right here, like we get a break above this high, price recorrects it, and then it takes off, right? It's always how ICC works, right? Look, this is the last previous high, price broke above it, it retests this area, and then it goes higher, making a new high, right? So that is how ICC works. It has to pull back, we catch the pullback to go higher. It's a trend continuation, right? And again, you could do it on lower time frames, 100%. It's just that you have to make sure that you're going with the trend, and you just gotta remember that there's gonna be a lot of noise, right? You're gonna get a lot of sideways action, a lot of sideways chop, right? You're gonna get a lot of up, it's just a lot of noise, right? That is why, again, I will look in the 5-minute and the 15-minute, and then once price tells me in that time period, since I'm scalping, that it wants to go higher in that time frame, and then I'll scale down to the 1 minute. But you'll never catch me just looking at 1 minute price action, because it means nothing. It literally means nothing. Like, look at this 15-minute, right? Let's mark, like, look at this high to low. So look at these right here, right? So I'm gonna mark these two, and let's see how much chop was in this area. All right. So look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all this noise. This is so, like, you don't, like, look at all this fucking noise. Now let's look at the 15-minute and let's find out how noisy it is. The 15-minute just says, hey, wait for me to fucking touch this resistance and take the trade. All right. Now look how easy it is. So now we can see that sellers are dying off and buyers are picking back up, right? So now instead of confusing myself by looking at 100,000 fucking candles that are just going in a zigzag, this is letting us know, like, hey, we are dying off, buyers are getting back active, right? So as we continue to make higher highs, higher lows and higher highs, making a higher support level, that is giving us indication that buyers are more active than sellers, and that all we need is a break of a high to get in. So as we break this high, with this next high right here, we wait for the retrace. As we get this retrace, I take my entry, putting my stop loss below this low, and we get a nice like 3-4R right now. $5R. Alright, even if you caught it right here, it's a 3R. Alright, but that is what we're doing. We are literally just monitoring the price action. Look, as you can see, look, a high, a lower high, a lower high. We get a break right here. Alright, this is the last highest candle. We get a break. Let me take these off real quick. And then we have the next candle, which is this one right here. We get a break above, right? So now price is making steps to go higher, right? Price came down and got underneath this level, creating its high. It came back down, making a higher low. So price supported was right here. Price came and makes a higher one right here. So now we are seeing that making an indication below this level. This was the correction. So again, this was the low. So we make an indication below this level, we're bearish. Price comes up, making it higher low. So the indication is, so this correction is over because we make a higher low. We come back to this level, we get back above support. We break the high. The next high, we break it again. What do? We break the high again. And all we do is, oh shit. And then what do? We retrace, right? Staying above our resistance level. Stop loss at this low. Like, it's super fucking smooth, bro. Super smooth. Alright, so honestly, there's no entry to take. There is nothing to take as of now. There is nowhere to get in, and any trade that you take is just a gamble. Right, if we weren't live, there was almost an 80% chance that we were taking this trade. It was super clean, guys. Super fucking clean. Even the 1 minute is super easy price action. You could see the levels, right? You could see we're consolidating under here. We got above this level. We started consolidating at this level. What? And then we got above this level, right? And then we stayed above it, right? So this is literally just price making steps. And then what did Asia opens? Asia session opens up at 9 o'clock, and we just take the fuck off. Yeah, I'm posting this after. Right, so this was super easy price action. It was, I mean, but again, it's only easy once you start to understand it. Right, once you understand the breaks that you're looking for, right? Where's the next highest high? I mean, what levels need to be respected? And then you can understand that price is just coming back to take the last previous high, right? How is price going to get back up here? You think it's just going to do a V-shaped reversal and run? Yeah, I post every time I go live. I just post it on YouTube for the people that want to go back and watch it. I post it. I have a YouTube section in the Discord, so I will post it in the. It's basically going on YouTube, but I'll copy the link and put it in my Discord. Yeah, bro, Asia is disrespect. Asia just wants to get there first. You know, Asia's the last session. Asia wants to get there first. They know New York session is going to do what it has to do, but since Asia session, listen, New York session consolidated. London or pardon me. Yeah, look at London session. This is 9 o'clock right here. If London session, this is what we also have to understand too, and maybe I should have talked about this a little bit more. But look, if Asia session moves sideways, there has to be a session that's going to go up higher or go lower. In this case, we're in an uptrend. So if Asia session, if London session, wow, every fucking session but New York. If New York session moves sideways, we have to expect that Asia is going to carry out the highs, or London, right? And in this case, for 2 days in a row, Asia session has been moving the highs, right? So previously it was what? New York session was making the high. No, that was Asia last night. Hold on. Yeah, look, this is Asia session moving sideways, right? And then what happened? New York session opened up and we carried out and went higher, right? What did London do? London session manipulated, taking out the lows, right? That is what manipulation is. All right, so we have our accumulation, we have our manipulation, and we have our distribution. That is how price has to work, right? So it doesn't have to go Asia, London, New York. It could go like, let's see. Here we go. What did London, what happened right here? We have a accumulation, sideways movement. This was all of Asia session. What did London session do? London session manipulated. Why do I keep doing that? New York session manipulated, right? And then Asia session distributed, right? Matter of fact, London into Sydney session manipulated, taking the lows, taking the highs, and then taking the lows. And then what did Asia open up at 8 o'clock and took out and went to the highs and distributed, right? So we have to understand that some sessions will also manipulate. Some sessions will also accumulate and then manipulate. Some sessions will manipulate and then distribute in the same breath, right? So we have to understand that and just go with the flow of traffic, right? As you can see right here, ready, we have, so after we manipulate, what happens? We get consolidation again, right? Consolidation. What does London session do? London session manipulated to the bottom, taking out the lows. And then it distributed, and New York session carried out the distribution. Right? So London manipulated and distributed all in the same breath. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that, guys. We have to understand how price works, right? How these things work to play a part of our strategy, so we're not being manipulated and being reversed on. Yes, so I am looking for price. Right, let me delete all this off my screen. So right now I like the 1 minute, and pardon me, the 1 hour. The 1 hour time frame is giving me liquidation sweep, indication, correction, continuation on that one. On the one, hold on, which one again? I want to make sure you're saying it right. Why is it not pulling up all the shit I just deleted? Damn it, bro. I know, I just wanted to pull up all the things I just deleted, and now it's not coming up. But the one that we just, hold on, let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, Chase, that's what we're looking for. That is exactly what I'm looking for. It is overlapping what? The 618 level. It's at a resistance level. That is exactly what I'm looking for. Was it this one, Rico? Where we accumulated, we swept liquidity, and then we distributed? Which would have been our indication, our correction, our continuation? Yeah. Yep. What you say? How's there been no pullback again, right? Like, look, the only pullback has been on these little ass 5 minutes, 15-minute time frames. Like, there hasn't been. That just shows you how strong this market is and how they don't want any type of retrace. Like, they're honest. This is how you know. Like, you just need to find slight pullbacks. Again, like, this is only like a fucking 20% retracement, which again, most of the time you get around a 50% retracement. Look, this is a 40% retracement. That is very small, guys. You don't, again, like, look at this one. Look at this retracement. This is what? This is a fucking almost 20, like about a 22-point retracement. Like, you don't get retracements like that. You get around 50% of the move to 60% of the move, right? Like, that's crazy, right? This is just, again, these are called parabolic moves. These are very small pullbacks with a big distribution, right? This is a lot. Like, look at this. Like, look at this curve, bro. I've never seen a curve like this. Like, that's like 80%. That's like an 80%. Holy hell, that move is insane. Special wonton soup. That is insane, bro. That's on what is that, the 4 hour? Oh my god. The 4 hours, no pullbacks. That is honestly the craziest parabolic curve I've ever seen. Like, look at this, guys. Look, you see what I mean? Like, you see how there's like no curve here. We don't have like much like look at all these. Like, the last time this shit happened, look. Holy hell, gold has just been running, guys. Holy shit. Let me see some. I want to see how much last time gold hit all-time highs back. Well, let me just see something real quick. Not last time, but let me see something. From the low to the high, what did we get? We got a retracement to the fib level, and then price just continued higher. Look, we take it from the low to the high, price, oh shit. Price bounces off fib level, and then we go higher. And this time it just ran. We had consolidation in this period right here. We broke out the top, we retested it, and then we just literally just melted to the upside. Dang, that's crazy. I've never, like, gold is just crazy. Yeah, I'm still holding. I'm still holding from last month. Yeah. Listen, this trade is literally the most RR I think I've ever came across. Did we just hit it? Okay, on gold futures we didn't hit it yet. But on FX we took the all-time highs. Now we're 1 point away. Nope, we're not there yet. Now we're there. Why is it all of ours different? Like, I hate this shit. These dumbass market makers. Asia session was like, nah, we coming for them highs, boy. I'm honestly upset. Yeah, we just took the highs on mine now. Dang, guys. I wanted to take this trade so bad. I was fiending for this trade, bro, and I didn't even take this shit. Yeah, yeah, deadass. Look at this. Look at this, bro. You catch it? Oh, it's alright. It's alright. Bro, taking that shit on demo or not is cool, bro. But look at this shit, bro. Asia session is just mooning tonight, bro. Like, look. Look at Asia last night. Consolidation for all of fucking New York session. Asia rips again. Like, I don't even know what to think right now. Like, honest, I'm dead ass. When I get shit like this, when price moves backwards, what I mean by price moving backwards is Asia session is supposed to move sideways. New York session is supposed to distribute, right? Meaning go up higher. When it goes backwards, that means New York session tomorrow is going to be shitty. Is either two things going to happen. New York's going to move sideways tomorrow, or New York is going to tank and it's going to come back down and retest this level to go higher. Right? That is the only two things that I'm thinking of. Right? But matter of fact, that's the only two things that could really happen. There's no way in hell New York's just going to open up and go higher. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. We did it, guys. $1.06. Open P&L. Oh my God, we did it, guys. Yo, that's crazy. We did it. $1,063,000. $1,063,370 to be exact. My day P&L is 33K. Pardon me, 331K. We've been holding this trade since 7/29. I thought it was. Oh, that was when I entered the second position. Oh my God, bro. So we took this trade. We opened this trade at 7/29. So let's go to it real quick. 7/29. Hold on, 7? Oh my God. June, July 7th. At 33.82. I thought, oh, that was my second position. Never mind. 33.82. Oh my God, that's a bottom tick, bro. 200 pips in 3 minutes. Damn. Yeah, of course. I wouldn't even enter long after this drop. We just dropped bad. Oh my God. That was a 30K drop, bro. We're at 301K for the day. I was just at 331. That's a 30K drop. Should I just close this position? Close it, fuck it. That's a dang, that's crazy. We going to the moon. That is insane. You just gotta remember, guys, that is literally like what, the 5 minute? Let's see. Look at that rejection off this 30-minute candle. That's huge. That is huge. Again, we will most likely come back down to this level. Let's see where we're at right now on our fib. Yeah, fib is overlying this level. Everybody took profit. Everybody that hit these all-time highs, everybody just took profit. No. This isn't on Top Step. This is my live account, Sparky. Yeah, I'm gonna close this trade out. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave some runners. I'm gonna close the big one though. I'm gonna leave like 30K running. Yeah, everybody exited the trade, bro. I still think we're gonna get a push. I don't think it's over. Um, Facts. This joint just touched outer space. Bro, that was an insane RR, bro. People are gonna wake up from fucking New York and be like, so I have a live Tradeovate account, will it close my position after New York? No. As long as so go to Tradeovate, and when you take your position, make sure it says good till close and not good till GTD, good till day, end of day. So make sure it says good till close, and you can hold that position until 2045 if you wanted to. Matter of fact, I'll show you what I mean. Look, do you see over here where it says time in force? Make sure it says, you see how right here it says GTD? That's good till the end of the day, right? I don't know why it's, hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me go to futures, just because I don't know why it's saying week. I never heard that. This must be new. But there's one that's going on. Matter of fact, I can log into my Tradeovate account. Right here, you see how it says day, and this says GTC. Just make sure you have GTC on. I'll go check, but just make sure you got GTC on, and you can hold that trade forever. All right, GTC. I think I just did the 15-minute fib, didn't I? It's matter of fact, it's coming to support. Yeah, the OTC is at support, or pardon me, at resistance. Oh, was I on the 4-hour? I don't remember. Here, look. Yeah, OT. Yep, it's right here. Oh, your bubble. Okay, what's up, bro? All right, bet. No problem. That helps a lot. I swear, everybody's name is so different on when they do one-on-ones, when they have TikTok and all that stuff. So I'll be confused on who is who. But that is crazy. We really just did one. I still got like 30K running, but I just closed at 121. Wow, not 121 M's. That'd be awesome. 1,221K. And we held that position since the 29th of July. That is what you call a swing trade. Good till close. It just means that your position's not gonna, yeah, alhamdulillah. It just means that your position is not gonna close when the session is over. My live account is 21 M's, bro. I posted it for you guys. You guys seen it in the Discord. We did 15K to 1 million, and then we did 1 million to 21. I showed you guys my live account off of Liquid Brokers when we were at 7. When we were at 7M, it's in the Discord. I posted it when I was at 7M. And then that trade that we took the other day, That or that New York trade we took, end up doing another 1 point something. It's in the Discord. It's all there. But we are literally tapping, like we almost tap OTE right there, off the 15 minute. This is gonna. I want this candle to close. I want this 30 minute to how many contracts? So it's lots. So I was on my. It was on my FX account. So futures does contracts and FX does lots, and it was around 450 lots, which would be how many contracts would that do? So if you turn it on TradingView, I'm not sure what does your okay, if you're doing paper trading, yes. But what prop firm are you using? My funded? All right, let's see if we could hold. Well, let me say this. If you take a trade right now, hold on, let me see. Yeah, so you have to close your trade before New York ends. So as New York ends, your trade will close out. That's my funded futures. You can't do it with FX accounts. You could do it with FX. It's just futures. They don't allow it. But again, if you take a trade at six, you from Florida? Yeah, I'm in Florida now. I'm not from Florida, but I'm living in Florida now. So you prefer FX, which is yeah, it's futures. I mean, pardon me, it's forex. Yes, I don't recommend FX. I just believe that you should take all of your profits from prop firms. I only trade futures prop firms. You're in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Daytona area, right? So I take futures prop firm earnings and then I put them into my live account with FX. Oh, you in the South? Yeah, I think I might be moving down to like Miami area. I don't. I'm not. Listen. I'm not somebody that like. Again, me and my family, we own businesses, right? Like, I'm somebody that wants to make wealth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't flaunt it. You'll never see me fucking posting cars and jewelry. Like, I care less about that shit. Like, it doesn't. I'm trying to fucking make sure my kids don't ever have to work again. You'll never see me flex ever, ever. I don't do that shit. I did all that when I was young. I'm 29 years old, about to be 30. When I was 21, in 18, 17, when I was fucking touching hundreds of $1,000 selling drugs, I did all that. I'd go to the casino on live and blow fucking 50K on black and then go do it again. Like, I didn't, I mean, I'd fucking have all the jewelry in the world. Fucking neck, you can't even see my neck. I got so much jewelry on. I did all that shit, bro. That shit don't get you nowhere. That shit get you targeted. You know how many times people try robbing me? You know how many times I got shot at? I'm not doing that shit no more. That shit just brings unnecessary attention. I did all that, bro. When you're young, I mean, have fun, but I'm not. I'm over that shit. I can't. I'm a felon. I can't have a strap. I mean, you said, never mind. Nah, for real, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I'm saying, I guess, listen, everybody's different, right? Some people like that attention. Some people like to have people look at them and be like, oh, he must be rich. He must be that. He must. I want somebody to look at me and be like, here's an extra dollar. You want this? Like, I want people to look at me and have pity and have like, I don't want people to see me for like, I want you people to see me for who I am, not for what I got. I'm telling you, you'll really start to see what people care for you and who people are. when they like you for who you are and not what you have. Nah, that's facts. Nah, that's for real, bro. And that's what Islam teaches you. That this world means nothing. That the possessions of this world mean nothing. All right, don't be caught up in materialistic things. Right, do something that brings you joy day in and day out, and then if money is the product of that, and then you're winning. And that's the truth. I met more people that are broke that shouldn't be smiling, right? That are living the best life with nothing. And then you see rich people that are fucking crying in their Lambo, right? Killing themselves, literally hanging themselves. Like, think about fucking, what's that one actor? He's a millionaire, ended up killing himself, hung himself. You know what I mean? Like, money doesn't bring happiness. Money will fix a lot of problems, but it doesn't bring happiness. Money will fix you for a certain extent until that money like, listen, at the end of the day, everything becomes normalized. You may be broke, it turns normal. You get money, after a while, it becomes normal, right? Exactly, bro. Exactly. Money doesn't fix all the problems in the world. Everybody has their demons that they battle, right? It may fix you so you're not struggling for rent. It may be able to eat whatever you want. But them demons that you still face, they're just going to get harder. Think about it if you have a drug addiction and you have millions of dollars. Just think about that. Damn. 800K in a week? Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy. Listen, if I lost every penny to this day, I wouldn't be mad. Do you know why? I know how to get it back. I just sit here on this computer and push buttons. And I'm like, hey guys, I'm just hopped in a cell. Like, I know how to get it back. It's not like I fucking worked. Like, imagine this. Imagine working a 9 to 5 your entire life, and then the age you turn 70 and somebody steals every penny from you that you worked your entire life to earn. Most people would not know what to do and most likely kill themselves, right? I don't like options. You have to have a lot of money. The leverage is ass. I gotta put up money. I gotta put up more money to make more, to make just a, like for instance, if I put up 20 bucks, let me go this. If I buy one mini contract, which is like 500 bucks, right? I can make potential unlimited money, right? If I do a contract with options, right? A one options contract is over 100 bucks, right? If you're doing like SPY, SPX, Tesla, right? And then you're only getting a certain amount of value percentage on that, right? So you are honestly, the leverage is ass. You have to have money to make money. Again, you could do it small, but it's still a lot harder. When it comes to Forex and FX or futures, again, my Forex account, I'm getting 500 leverage, right? My other one account, I'm getting 2,000 leverage. So for every dollar that I have, I could hold up to $2,000 worth of positioning, right? So if I have, what's the best prop firm? I like Top Step, Funded Futures, Blue Guardian. If you go to my Discord, it's all there. There's a prop firm section that will show you all the prop firms that I use and like and that are the best. But if you're a beginner trader, use my Funded Futures or Blue Guardian because they have no activation fee. So you spend 50 bucks, you pass the challenge, and you get a free funded account that you can start making money with ASAP. So they are the ones that I use. But again, the leverage is the reason why I don't use options. You can, that $100 that you would have bought an options contract with, if you go do that same exact thing, that let's say you bought options contract in gold, if you go and do that same exact money in FX, you would literally almost quadruple your earnings because of the leverage. So that's why I don't do options. I put money into options as a hedge, as a long-term position, right? I have some SPX. Matter of fact, right now, I have my contract expiring in December, but it's not because for earnings. It's more on a tax advantage side because it's unrealized gains. It's something that I don't have to pay taxes on when time comes. That is the only reason options are, in my opinion, my portfolio. It's flipping bullish already? Bro. All right, so these are the two things. Right now, we have this FVG. So I would like to see price respect this FVG to create another lower low. That would be cool. I don't want to see price go any higher. I'm not sure what strategy to use to be. I heard about liquidity sweeps that reverse and ORB. Listen, get in my Discord. ORB, in my opinion, is one of the worst strategies. I'm not saying it doesn't work because I know people that make it work. But it's, listen, to me, in order to make a good amount of money using them type of strategies, you're gonna have to trade, 30 ticks, 20 ticks, right? They're ass. I've tried them, so it's not like I'm just speaking because I'm hating them. I tried these shits, right? To me, they're horrible, right? Liquidity is a real thing, but every single trading strategy needs liquidity. Right? The way we trade, we have to have liquidity in order for price to work, right? Taking the highs is a form of liquidity, right? And that is what we do, right? We are, again, right now, as you can see, we just broke this high. We got another higher high. Price is retraced. It retraced like 50% of the zone, and then it went higher, right? So that is just a form of liquidity being grabbed. Look, 50% of the zone, and then we go higher, right? Just come to my Discord and allow me to teach you the strategy that I teach, and I promise you, you're gonna, it's, first of all, it's easy, and it is probably the most profitable strategy I've ever came across in my entire life. Again, if you guys weren't here when I first started talking about it, I was doing around a 45-50% on a good day, and now I'm doing over 71% over 800 trades. So it's not like I'm only counting like 30 trades, 40, 50 trades. Over 800 trades. I posted in the Discord. Me and Luke damn near have the same exact fucking win rate. Over 800 trades now. So that just shows you that this strategy is great. My profit factor, anything over 2, profit factor is profitable. Mine was at like a 12, bro. I think it's at like an 8 right now, but it was at a 12. I did have a big loss, and I posted it in the Discord, which is like 200 and something K. You guys remember how big it was? I forget. So we had a huge loss. How come you teaching us for free? How? Why not? Why not? Why would I have to charge? Why should I have to charge you guys who were honestly unprofitable and have to go work for your money? Bro, I literally woke up today and pressed a button and did 6K today in less than 15 minutes. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. All right, that's the difference. These people saying, "Oh no, like why would I give this shit out for free?" I'm never giving my shit out for free. And then I don't know, because for me, bro, my reward doesn't come from man. My reward comes from God. Everything that I get in my life is because God has gave it to me. It's not because man has gave it to me, right? So I'm not. If I give this away for free, it's not because I'm expecting your money. I'm expecting God to bless me with more money, right? Or whatever God decides to bless me with. It doesn't have to be money. It could be children. It could be whatever, right? At the end of the day, money is not everything. People who fantasize and people who dwell over money, right? They're the ones that at the end of the day aren't as happy, right? I could be broke and still be doing this, and I'll still be happy. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's just the difference. Not as facts. I hope everybody gets to this level, bro. At the end of the day, as long as you guys take this shit serious, that's all it comes down to. Day in and day out, bro. Day in and day out. Don't come in and shit taking it for granted. Come in and shit, put in your all, get off the charts, go have fun. Come in the next day, put in your couple hours, get off the charts and go have fun. The thing about trading is that you're supposed to make money in the less time that you, so like, let me put it like this. If you work a 9 to 5 and you make $200 per day, your job in the market is to make $200 per day in less than 8 hours. So you could supplement your income without working that same amount of time. What if everyone uses your strategy and the money makers catch on? And then that's just what it is, right? At the end of the day, we trade market structure. They can't change market structure. Higher highs and higher lows and consolidation is the only way the market moves. So the market makers could say, hey, there's a great strategy and everybody's doing it, but they can't change the formations of charts. They can't. You can't just say, hey, we're making higher highs and higher lows, right? That is how the market works. If the market's going up, it's going to make higher highs. If the market's going down, it's going to make lower lows, right? That's all that we trade. I don't trade nothing else. We just go with the trend. That is it. That's the difference. Right, gold is one of the easiest assets to trade because a lot of people put money into it because it's a safe haven and there's no interest on gold. Right? So when things hit the fan, people put that shit right into gold and they hedge it. They use a lot of different tax advantages that gold has, right? Most people from other countries, the Middle East and all of these European countries, which are the central banks, which hold almost 85% of all of the gold in the entire world, they are using it to get away from the US dollar, right? So you just have to remember that gold is just one asset that everybody in the world could agree upon on the price, right? The dollar bill, one person could get on TV and fuck up the dollar bill. The weight of gold and the value of gold is never going to change because we have all agreed upon these type of things. You're banned from the yeah word, bro. Rico, you just don't know how to fucking give up, do you? You said, will hymns go up? I don't know what the hymns mean. Exactly, that's another thing. Listen, what I tell you guys, $333 a day is $10,000 a month. So if you're a beginner trader and you have a live account or a prop firm, you should be targeting like $400 per day, $300 per day, which is $10,000 per month. I guarantee if you're working at your job 9 to 5, most people are not making $10,000 per month. So you should be coming into the market aiming for that number. Just that's it. I make about 150 a day. Exactly. So you should be coming to the market and doing 200 to again in a eval stage. It's a little bit different because you're not getting paid yet, right? So you do have to aim for a little bit more and be more aggressive in evals. But when you get funded, you should only like dead ass, bro. If you get funded and you do $200 per day and do not take a payout until the 30 days, you will be taking an 8K payout. You feel what I'm saying? So that's all you got to do. That's it. Treat this shit like a job. Don't treat this shit like, hey, I have to get paid every day. Treat this shit like a job. Change your mindset. That's it. That's all you gotta do is change your mindset. Allow this shit to walk you down. Don't say it. And then if you copy trade, exactly. If you're copy trading, and then you could be doing crazy numbers, guys, crazy numbers. But just be consistent at a small number. If your trades are 500 and then 100 and then 1000 and then 300 and then 600 and then 100 and then you're not consistent at one number, where do I learn from? Go to my Discord. Somebody post my Discord, please. A matter of fact, it's right here. Come to my Discord. That is how you will learn from me. I go live every single day, Monday through Thursday. I think Friday I'm gonna stop going live. But matter of fact, Sunday through Thursday, I think I'll start going live on Sundays too. Sunday through Thursday, I go live every single day at 7 p.m. EST. I post all of my videos on YouTube for the people that want to see them as well. Again, it's in my Discord. But I'm telling you, yeah. So just be consistent. Be consistent at one number. Don't think you have to take daily payouts or weekly payouts. Build up a buffer. Build up a nice drawdown so you don't have to, you know what I mean, you don't have to struggle against a $2,000 drawdown because realistically you only have a $2,000 drawdown. What the hell are you looking at? Oh shit. Mine. Who took a sell? Did somebody just take a sell on gold? $500,000? What the fuck was he thinking? Oh, it's a demo trader. I was about to say. He's retarded. What Rico say? If you copy trade, risk less because you're making more collectively. Yeah, listen, again, I try and tell you guys, listen, yeah, he gotta be. He better be. Because if he just lost that trade in gold right now, like, you don't know what the fuck he's doing. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is, yes, you have a 50K balance, but you have $2,000 or $2,500 to lose. So that's your balance. So get your mind out of that I have $50,000, because you don't. You have $2,000. So if I gave you $2,000 into a live account, would you be risking $500 to $1,000 per trade? No. Right? So get into your mindset that you're going to start trading micros and risking $100 to $200 per trade. That's it. That's it. See, listen, I'd still trade less than that. I don't even trade 1% of my account. I trade around 0.5 of my account. 0.05, sorry. Right? Because again, when I hit bangers, I'm hitting like 7, 8 RR. So I'm risking $200. I'm making $1,600, $1,800, $2K. You know what I mean? Off a $200, off a $100, $200 trade. Right? I'm doing 10R, risking $100, making 1,000. Right? And then you learn to scale into your trades. If you go to my Insta or to my TikTok, you will see, for instance, that I will take a trade here, and then I'll add more here, right? And then I've already had my opening position maybe here, right? So I scale into my trades, and that is what you guys have to learn how to do. So you start. Wait, you're on YouTube? What teaching me like how I can win to get funded? Is it your live session? So right now they're my live sessions. I just been fucking super busy. So I will make a actual matter of fact, I think this week I'm gonna try and do it. I tried sending this a video over, but it's this I just gotta figure this shit out myself, because I just tried to record a video off my TikTok yesterday and it didn't let me. It literally just fucking like said that it was something wrong with the file or whatever. I went to send it to somebody who said they would help me out, but I just got to figure out like a something to record on. I think I got to just download OBS. Your live is flagged for hate speech. Like, what did I say? I can't stand TikTok, bro. But no, right now it's just my it's just my lives that I'm posting on YouTube. Every day I will teach you. Every day I'll come on live and I'll teach you how to use my strategy, and I give you everything, right? But just continue to come, and I would, again, everybody in our lives, they post what is going on. What are we looking? I get banned for everything, bro, for real. How long you been trading live? I would say the last 4 months. Do you have yes, in my trade alert room, I give out my trades every day that I take. I don't give you all of my trades. I will at least give you around 2 to 3 almost every session. We do trade a lot in London session. We do trade a New York session. Again, I'm not somebody that just crams trades down your throat. Again, if you go to my Discord, I don't even, like, I think we called out maybe one loss, but the only reason it was a loss because, matter of fact, I didn't lose because I had a bigger stop loss, right? But some people may have lost or broke even because of their stop loss. Should I do a 3-step for, oh, Blue Guardian futures. Sorry, Blue Guardian futures. Yeah, quality, exactly. So again, I probably caught out over 30 trades in the last 2 months, maybe even more that I remember. And I don't think I've ever caught out a real loser yet. I would do the 2-step. If you're gonna use FX, matter of fact, let me look it up real quick just to make sure I'm being correct. Blue Guardian. What is the win rate? My win rate is 71% right now off of 800 trades. I posted it in the Discord as well. So if you're gonna do a Blue Guardian account, I would use the 2-step standard. How much is the 3-step? Let me see something real quick. Oh, it's 50% off. Do you only future trade? No, I do both. Yeah, I just bought a Blue Guardian futures account. But they're doing 50% off right now. Need a new Blue Guardian? Enjoy 50% off. So again, Let me see what these one steps look like. 180 for a 50K? Do a pro? Static drawdown? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 180, bro. $140, $150 for a one-step standard 50K account. $150, and it's refundable. And you get 50% off. Yeah, I like these. I like this. I do have the futures one. I didn't get the FX, but I might just buy another one. I ain't gonna lie, I love prop firms, bro. I love them. I just crack them. They're like very fucking, like, as long as you're doing it, you just gotta be small, bro. Like, you really just have to go small and just be consistent. Take like 2 weeks. Like, again, I understand you guys want to get paid and get shit out the way and get it done, but like, take 2 weeks. Be like consistent at a small number. Do like $100. Look, even this one, labor has 50% off. Let's see something real quick. Get started. Let's do a one step 50K. What's the pro? What's the difference between the pro and the standard? Oh, the pro is giving you 6K drawdown. And then the standard, hold on, let me see something real quick. One step 50K standard. Max drawdown is $2,000, which is perfect. Okay, but the pro is giving you $3,000 with a static drawdown. That's crazy. Static drawdown is the best drawdown that you could possibly get. The 3-step is probably super cheap, which is probably a good thing. For $100, not bad. Let's see. You have to make 3K, 6K, 9K. You just gotta make an extra 6K, which is the hard part. You know what I mean? Because like if you buy a one step, you're only hold on. No. Profit target 5K. Alright, a 3K account on the 50, a 3-step account on the 50K, you have to make 3, 6, 9. So you're making an extra 3K, that's not bad. That's not bad. Again, if you're gonna do a 3-step challenge, bro, it's gonna take you around a month to complete. Each step should take you around a week or 2. Right? So just be patient, bro. That's all I gotta say. Be patient. And this is another thing, that the 3-step doesn't have static drawdown. The 1-step is the only one that has static drawdown. Nah, we're not taking no trades yet. There's nothing for you to get in yet. What the fuck? Have you heard of Sway? That's Liquid Brokers. Liquid Brokers is a good broker. You talking about the broker, right? Yeah, it's Liquid Brokers now. That's what I use Liquid Brokers. What's the leverage on the other one? Are they both 1 to 20? But I still don't know the difference between fucking pro and not pro. Yeah, and then I don't want to use pro. I want to use hella leverage. How is the one step cheaper? I've never seen that ever. I got Blue Guardian futures. I never used their actual FX accounts. I only use their future accounts. Blue Guardian futures is hella cheap. And they have no activation fee. Their standard Blue Guardian, look, their Blue Guardian 150K account is 40 bucks. Right? And right now it's like fucking half off. Right? But you have to pay you have to pay a fee, an activation fee of 150 bucks. Their standard account for their 50K is 50 fucking bucks, bro. They have some moody traders. Yeah. Yeah, and they have no activation fee. So I'm just gonna try them out. Gunter, yeah. They're known UK scammers. Word. Yeah, I just heard a lot of good things about them, and I was like, fuck it, let me just try them out. So we're gonna see how they go. This is the Blue Guardian futures. 50 bucks, no activation fee for a 50K account. That's like the best you could do it. Let me show you. Yeah, let me see them. And they have an instant fund account, which is, you know, I don't recommend it because they have like what's the website? blueguardianfutures.com. blueguardianfutures.com. 50K 100K account, which is do the standard, don't do Guardian, do standard. Right? 50K account, you have a $2,500 drawdown, you have a 7-day payout period, no activation fee. No, you do have a 40% consistency rule, which isn't bad. Yeah.
So the reaction for the apprentice post has gone absolutely mental, and now we are going to tell
What's
you the
their
exact
apprenticeship that they're trying to talk about right now?
to be
Do
an
you know?
apprentice. Lewis, you start it.
Step 1, you must have 19-inch
they're talking about some dumb shit.
biceps, but it has to be
I thought they were
matched
talking about some
with
real
5-inch
shit.
legs.
And that is a requirement to be
fucking
Lewis's
faggots.
apprentice, and to
Oh,
be
I just
my
got kicked off
apprentice,
TikTok
you're going to need
100%
the
for saying that. I didn't mean to say that
entry
TikTok.
level,
I'm
and you're also
sorry.
going to need
I didn't.
ripped out your
Oh,
fucking
damn it.
brain.
You have to
That's
hate
literally gonna
fat
ban
bird,
my
and as well as
account,
this, you have
guys.
to be completely
I'm literally
self-absorbed
have
and
one more
arrogant.
mess up on TikTok before I'm banned
And
completely and they
entries will
delete
be
my
ending
account.
at the end
That's
of June.
crazy.
And we will fly you out in August.
See you then.
Yeah, I just typed it in the chat. blueguardianfutures.com. I think I'm gonna buy 100. I think I might do the 150K account for 150 bucks with no activation fee. That's insane, bro. Yeah, no problem, bro. Again, we'll be live again tomorrow. Yeah, I said, yeah, good thing you did give me another TikTok, bro. I gotta start. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm glad you're doing too, bro. I hope we can help you guys. I gotta redo that. I gotta start putting stuff on that TikTok and getting you guys to start following it. So just in case I really do get banned, that you guys know where I'm at. But yeah, for sure it'll pay off, bro. I'm telling you, a lot of people in this Discord have got payouts for the first time ever. And there's one guy who has 20 green days off Top Step. 20 green days in a row. Got his first payout, bro. Just from being in our Discord. Yeah, I gotta make this backup account. What tab you dropped it at? What you mean? I forget what we were just talking about. JR, I forget what we were just talking about. My mind is blown up. The prop in the chat. Oh, yeah. Where'd it go? Yeah, blueguardianfutures.com. Here we go. And there's the Discord too. But yeah, I'm telling you, these are like, like as of now, I don't know any prop firm though. Like I would just want to make sure. Like I do want you guys to get these things because mine looks different from yours though. Yours probably looks like this. Oh no, what the heck? Send me a DM, send me a screenshot in Discord. Let me see what yours looks like. Hello? Are you here? Oh, oh yeah, you good. Yeah, you good. Alright, bet. Damn, I thought Shorty was here, but I said it was fast as hell. But no, I don't see. Yeah, just send me a screenshot of what yours looks like, and I'll help you out after the live. But yeah, I want to get it. I want to pass this account. I'll probably, hopefully, pass it this week, depending on how gold moves because of these all-time highs. But as soon as I pass it, maybe like 2 weeks, we'll get the payout. I don't take payouts off the first payout, only because I need that buffer. I want to get to that $2,600 range, which will be $2,600. Yeah, and then you can take payouts after that. Yeah, you're on your phone. That's it. That's it, bro. You're on your phone. That's why. Oh no, that's not. That's blue. You got to go to blueguardianfutures.com, bro. You're at blueguardian.com. Do blueguardianfutures.com. That's why. That's why. You're at just Blue Guardian. You got to go to blueguardianfutures.com. Yeah, you got it. But what I was to say, I don't like it. Like, okay, when you take payouts with anybody, right? Top Step, all these type of guys, you don't want to take that first payout because, and then you're eating into your drawdown, right? You want to get to like 3K on your Top Step account, 5K, and then you want to start like, again, I know you want to make money, but you want to have longevity with these prop firms for at least that month, right? No, I'm not saying you can't take a payout with for a month. What I'm saying is to get your account to above like 55, 56K, so you could take like a $2,000 drawdown. I mean $2,000 payout and still have $3,000 worth of drawdown. That's what I'm saying. Because if you just make $1,000 and then take $1,000, now you only have $1,000 worth of drawdown. And now you're cooked because you have to risk way less. You have $1,000 to lose, and now you're like, what the fuck do I do? So my advice would at least to try and get above 55K before you take your first payout, so you still have a decent payout and a decent drawdown. Again, that's my preference, and if you guys are able to do that, I'm telling you, it's gonna make a big difference, right? Once you again like. There's sometimes when I had my accounts where it took a month before I even took the first payout because I wanted to. Okay, I ended up blowing this account, but I had a QT funded account. I turned 25K into 50K without taking my first payout, and then we ended up taking our, what was it, 11,000, 11 or 12K, whatever the fuck it was. No, it was 9,000 because my Alpha Futures was 12K, and then we took our first payout, and then I ended up blowing the account right after that. So I basically like gave them like 20K basically, but. You want to build that buffer up, bro, because once you build that buffer, you're able to start using more leverage and increase your contracts or your lot sizes, so you can start to really make money and really like crack these guys over the head. Because again, if you have like $2,000 is your basically your drawdown, so that's your account. Once you get to $6,000, that means you have $6,000 worth of drawdown. So imagine the position sizes, right? Imagine being able to take 5 minis every trade and doing $3,000 per trade. So you lose 1,000 to make 3,000. You know what I mean? So, oh man, that's what you guys got to understand. When you're doing $2,000 drawdown, you can't risk $1,000 for a trade. You can't, right? Because you only have $1,000 left. So when you have $6,000, $5,000, you could risk $1,000 per trade. Crack over here for 3K. Now you're up 8K. Now you're just another $1,000 per trade. Hit them again. Now you're up 12K. Now you lose a trade. Now you're up 11K. Now you hit another trade. Now you're up 14K, 13K. right? And then you just keep doing that back and forth, and then you're eventually up 30, 40K, and now you're taking 5K payouts every single week with making $100 each day, right? And then you do that over 5, 6 accounts, and you're killing it, bro. Killing it. You're doing 25K a week. What are you talking about, TP? Where are you? Is he trading? Somebody's trading right now. There ain't nobody should be trading on gold. There is no way. If you're trading NQ, maybe, but gold, fuck no. There ain't nothing to trade. You're getting NQ and same shit. Where the fuck? Where do you think you're going on NQ? A lag, ultimate lag. Oh snap! It might be my shit too, bro. But as you can see, we're at a support zone right now, right? We just broke structure to the downside. We barely got a retest. We're beneath this level right here, so we have no direction. We've been in chop for it. Look at New York session. Look at New York session. There's no direction. NQ broke 1 hour, but still. Hold on, you said 1 hour where? Look, we are getting lower highs. We still have no break yet, right? We still have our support right here. We still have our resistance right here. We are getting lower highs, which is a good sign, but I need a break beneath this. This is the only way I'm taking a trade. Beneath this, take this, go lower. Right? You may be looking on a lower time frame, and maybe that's why you're saying it's a break, which it is on a break on a lower time frame. Right? You are breaking this low, but it's not the low that we need to be broken. Right? We still have all of these lows right here that is still holding as support. Right? So if you take this sell, you're most likely you're on NQ. Look at the 1 hour. I mean, we are literally consolidating all of New York and all of Asian. We don't have any clear direction of the market yet. At least on my chart. I don't know what the fuck your chart looks like. Mine is below. Send a screenshot. Why is all these shit so different? Like, we are all on the same prop firms. Like, I don't get it. And then ES, we don't even have. We have a divergence on ES. We got London low right here, which it looks like it wants to target. And then we have New York low right here, which is another area of target. You gotta remember, NQ and ES are definitely an asset that targets these type of liquidity pools. What the fuck, bro? Oh, I see why. No, I don't see why. You're on the 1 hour. Why is yours so different? That is weird. Oh shit. Alright, hold up. How do you know about to copy trade? How do you know? How do you copy trade multiple accounts? It just depends on what prop firm that you're using that allows you to do so. If you're using Alpha Ticks, Top Step, they have it's already integrated into the platform that you could use it. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go let Shorty in right quick. Give me like a couple seconds. Apex. Apex, you just give me 1 second, I'll show you. Give me 1 second. Alright, y'all hear me? So we enter sales on a pullback, 2 different brokers in the futures CME. Nah, but we all using CME though. Alright, NQ uses CME and gold will use COMEX. So there's no reason why it should be like this. You got the remote? Alright, yeah. So I don't get why it's doing that. But to the dude that said he want to copy trade, if you go to Tradeovate, and then you have to go to add-ons in your settings. Matter of fact, I literally just fucking like full ported my Tradeovate account and I blew it. I can't stand Apex. I will never use Apex ever again. Apex is the worst fucking firm I've ever come across, bro. The trailing drawdown is the most dumbest shit I've ever come across. I was literally up 4K on a trade and price retraced $2,500 and blew my account. How? Like, what the fuck, bro? I will never use them again. I had fucking 6 accounts. Just imagine that payout, bro. But as you can see, you come up here to accounts. It's not even let me do it. But you go to accounts right here, and then it's gonna say group trade, and then you click it, and then you just put them into your group trade, right? So you'll put like 3 of them, and then let's say you want to trade 10 minis, you would have to put underneath of it, it's gonna say a number. You're gonna have to put 10 or however minis or micros that you want to trade. You're gonna have to put them out right there, and then you just hit buy or sell, and it's gonna copy it. But you have to go over here too, and turn on add-ons and turn on group trade right here. Turn it on for free. Turn on everything that's for free. Just turn it on. Right before I just came back. All right, look, you hear me? Go to add-on and turn on group trade. It allows you to copy trade multiple accounts, right? So if you have like 5 Apex accounts, that's how you do it, right? And then you come up here to where it says account right here, and you click your account, and then it's gonna say group, and it's gonna say add group or some shit like that. So add all of your accounts to group, right? And then it's gonna say a number underneath each of your account. So let's just say, is there any concept familiar with that? Yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second. So after you do that, where it says number under, let's say you have 5 accounts. Underneath of it, it's gonna say zeros. Just put, let's say you want to trade 1 mini. Just put 1 underneath all of them. So when you go and take a trade right here, you're gonna have to put, let's say you have 5 accounts and you're trading 1 mini, you're gonna have to put 5. So that's how you do it. So if you're gonna trade micros and you want to trade 5 micros per account, 5 times 5 is 25. So you're gonna have to put 25 right here. And then once you hit sell, it's gonna copy trade for all of them. That's how you do it. If you need help, send me a DM in my Discord or my TikTok, and I'll help you out. Is there any concept I should familiar? Yeah, it's a lot. Just send me a DM and I'll walk you through it, bro. Yeah, go to this. After this, I gotta get off. Trades by side. Look, go to this right here. What's your name? Saying. Go to this right here on YouTube. Trades by side on YouTube and watch his videos. He is where I got my he is kind of like the guru that started this ICC. He does full breakdowns on everything. So go watch his bootcamp. It's free. He teaches everything for free too. So go to his bootcamp and watch all his videos. His videos are short. He keeps everything short and simple. Yeah, if you watch his course, bro, you actually have to watch his course. I watched the course. It's something that's going to help you with this type of trading strategy. Feel me? But look what I said. Look, you see how we just rejected this high time frame fair value gap? We also had OTE. Right, 705 off the dot, and we rejected it, but we didn't make it a lower low. So price is still not bearish yet. All right, at least on a lower time frame, we're not bearish, or it's not. You're not ready to take a sell. Pardon, it was trades by who? Here, I'll type it again. That's who you want to watch. He is probably one of the best traders that I know. I don't like. He's probably one of my favorite traders. But I am about to hang this shit up. I don't know about trading in London tonight. Do you not put on oil? When you have these big ass wicks like this, sometimes I don't, right? Yeah, sometimes I don't, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This wick is just a big FU wick, and I'm not feeling it. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. How quick will streams be on YouTube? Hopefully I'll do this shit ASAP. As soon as I get done with this, I'm gonna just put it on there right now. I've done tried. I can't seem but to be consistent, so I watch it. Listen, bro, I traded all that shit too, bro. Are you trading the bell? I trade before pre-market open. So whatever pre-market open is, I will be trading before that. So honestly, like 7, 8 o'clock is when I like to trade. That is when price moves the best, right? That's when I like to get in position so I can hold my trade for the remainder of New York. Yeah, I don't think I'll be trading London. I don't think London after this move up, watch this. What did Asia session do? We got a nice uptick and then it started to move sideways, right? So what happened yesterday? Right? Asia session opened up, gave us a nice uptick, and then we moved sideways. What did London do? London opened up, taking Asia high, and then it started to retrace to about 50% of the move, right? And then what did New York do? New York moved sideways the whole entire session. So I'm just thinking that it's gonna do the same exact thing for tomorrow. So I'm not necessarily thinking trading's gonna be a good session for tomorrow. You may catch a couple nice scalps, but there's nothing that I'm interested in. This Asia run was something that I was interested in, but we missed it. So yeah. But I'm telling you, bro, trades by side, he's gonna help you out. Just make sure you understand what support and resistance is and market structure. You need to get my Discord. Send me a DM. Matter of fact, I think it's here. I'll just post it right quick. All right, get in the Discord. Everybody in my Discord is off the same shit that I'm teaching you right now. We all post our trades. We all post what we're thinking. So we all basically help each other. You feel me? We have like 300 people in our Discord now. Yeah, I didn't think Asia was gonna do this either. I ain't gonna lie. How many people are in our Discord right in this right now? We got like alright, bet. But yeah, so it's 11 o'clock. I'm about to slide. Yeah, that's what we finna do. Yeah, we got like over 200, right? They used to tell me how many we have. I don't know how to find it though. We got 215 people offline, and then we got 200. We got 100 people, or no, we got 50 people online. So what's that? Like, yeah, we got like 260, almost 270, 265. But we growing small. We is growing. But I mean, yeah, we out of here though. If y'all need any help, if y'all need anything, if I know somebody was saying something about the funded account, the prop firm account with the with trading, copy trading, just send me a DM and we walk you through it. Matter of fact, I know some people in the Discord will also help you too. So you can also ask anybody in the Discord where you want to catch continuations. Let me see what the 4 hours looking like real quick, and then I'll get up out of here. If we come back down to this level, that'd be crazy. I don't know if we're gonna get that low. 3,400. That would be great. If we could catch a continuation off of 3,400 off of this. Matter of fact, I don't even know. I wouldn't do 3,400. I want to do this daily resistance. I want to do it off this daily resistance. So I'm looking at like 30, 34, 33. Yeah, like 34.33 would be an area that I would like to see. Hold on, let me see a little bit tighter. Yeah, like 34.30. 34.30. But the best case scenario would definitely be 3400 for sure. 3407, around that area. But I just don't know if we're going to retrace that long. We have a lot of resistance on the way down. All right. If we get buying power off of this London low, and then I might hop in. But I need to see this London low, which is at 34.66. I need to see this London low get disrespected in order for me to want to maybe take a sell back down to that level. All right, but I need this London low we need to get underneath this London low. Yeah, and I'm gonna be posting the live right now. As soon as I get off, I'm gonna hurry up and post it. So if you guys want to go back and rewatch it and go over some of our the components that we went over today, y'all can do so. I will be trying to chop it up so I could like kind of make a course for y'all. I just been slacking. I ain't gonna lie, I've been slacking. But yeah, we out of here though. We just out of here. I will see y'all in New York.